He was just doing his job. He's been doing that job for half a decade now. It just so happens that we're playing the Buccaneers this week. Everybody's trying to make it a conspiracy theory, which is not, end quote. SportsCenter right now brought to you by Eckrich Smoked Sausage. Find them in the refrigerated meat aisle at your favorite grocery store to create a one-of-a-kind sausage recipe. Eckrich, you do you.
The underdog is howling.
The best way to make some real cash is to find a live dog.
I told our players, you need to be more like a dog.
This is On the Plus Side.
We need more dogs.
And we do On the Plus Side here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, presented by Progressive Insurance on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and now on ESPNU with Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, Freddie coming in for Max Kellerman. We do a little On the Plus Side. It's the best underdog bets of NFL Week 3, so we cede the stage to Shannon Penn, the producer, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
All right, Week 3 in the NFL is here, fellas. Let's all get excited. So what we're going to do, we have 3 games. I'm going to give you the games. So we're going to try to pick some dogs ahead of Week 3. Keyshawn, I will start with you. Jacksonville, underdog at the Chargers. Jacksonville +7 at the Los Angeles Chargers. How do you see that one going?
I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars in this situation. They've been playing good football the first 2 weeks of the season. Doug Peterson certainly figured out what to do with Kristen Kirk, how to put the football in Travis Etienne's hands. Things that was not happening in Jacksonville under Urban Meyer. The Chargers on the flip side, you got banged up quarterback, you got an out Keenan Allen, J.C. Jackson. What's going to happen with the Chargers when they need to push the ball down the field without a guy like Keenan Allen in the lineup in a barbecue ribbed guy in Justin Herbert? I'm taking the Jaguars.
I'm still surprised that the Jags shut out the Colts like that, but moving on. Damn.
Well, what happened to the Colts this year, man? They have not looked like the team we thought we were going to see with them.
All right, Jay, you're up next. Looking at the NFL slate. We got the Los Angeles Rams at Arizona. Arizona +3.5. How do you like this one?
Yeah, I like Arizona to cover here. I still think the Rams will find a way to win, but, I mean, you talk about the Cardinals haven't beaten the Rams inside State Farm Stadium since 2014. I think they're due, and I think that the way the Cardinals found something towards the end of the game against the Raiders, even though the Raiders gave that game away, sometimes those are games that catapult momentum. And I think this is a matchup, a big-time matchup. We'll see the best of Kyler Murray. And even though I know the Rams are studded, and even that game against the Falcons, it didn't feel like they're dominating teams the way I would have thought they were. They allowed teams to hang in the game. I think it's a big-time game for Mighty Mouse at home that he has to get.
Hey, Jay.
Yes?
Doesn't that stadium look like the big toaster?
I've never. It does.
Have you seen? You've seen their dome?
Yeah,
it looks like a giant toaster.
I never thought about it like that.
Wow. Well, put it this way. They didn't try to toast them feet of Kyler Murray because he's going to be running around all night long if the Rams can't catch him. No Von Miller to do the, all you hear is like, when
That's
he's
how
doing
he
that.
runs.
Yeah. You ever see like the whole thing when they had to do like a whole scavenger hunt? You're going around the country, you try to diagram somebody the map. That's what he looks like.
I mean, Key, maybe he'll roam around in the pocket for 10, 15 minutes before he makes a play. Because that's what he did against the Raiders, you know?
You know, it's so funny. We were talking about the social media stuff. Social media and people do the little memes and all the different stuff. They say Kyler Murray looked like a little badass kid that stole his mother's phone running around with the ball in his hand.
Remember the Jags?
The world we live here,
I thought you don't pay attention to social media.
I have friends like you who send it to me.
Remember the Jackson's American Dream miniseries when he tried to catch Mike and ran into bed? He goes, he's faster than a rabbit. That was Kyler Murray on Sunday versus the Las Vegas Raiders, escaping that whole thing and making that play down the stretch.
All right, we're playing On the Plus Side here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max with Freddie Coleman in for Max. All right, Freddie, you're up. We got a game tonight, Week 3, Pittsburgh +4.5 at Cleveland. How do you see this one?
I see the Pittsburgh Steelers covering because in the last 14 matchups between these two, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 11-3-1 against the Cleveland Browns since 2015. They're 38-9-1 versus Cleveland since they came back into the league in 1999. Now, the Browns, we know they're going to do things in terms of offensively where they can score. They have scored in 52.4% of their possessions. That's tied with the Chiefs and the Bills for the most in the NFL after the first couple of weeks. But even now, T.J. Watt, that defense still played well against the New England Patriots, limiting them to 17 points. I'm not expecting Mr. Trubisky out there to get in touch with Ben Roethlisberger, but rivalry games, Cleveland still, I think, will have a little bit of a hangover, guys, after they blew that game against the New York Jets. I can see the Pittsburgh Steelers going on the road, being that road dog and covering this game despite being a 4.5-point underdog.
So you're a believer in Trubisky going out there and slinging it a little bit more, Freddie? You
No,
like that?
I'm not talking about in terms of him slinging it, but I think the more and more he gets comfortable and the more comfortable you get with him, that he'll make enough plays. It's all about the running game, the defense. It's old school Pittsburgh Steelers football. You don't have the quarterback having to go out there, even though in modern football you need your quarterback to make plays. It's almost similar to the Cleveland Browns with Jacoby Brissett, who was really good last week, 22 of 27 versus the New York Jets. He and Nick Chubb didn't blow that game. The defense and special teams blew that game. But I think Pittsburgh's defense, a short week, Cleveland still having that hangover. I think the Steelers cover.
I think that hangover's over because they know how they lost the football game. They went back into the drawing board. They fixed that. And look, in the end, Cleveland is a better football team right now than the Pittsburgh Steelers. The quarterback is better. And typically when you have a better quarterback than your opponent, you usually win those games.
I hear you in terms of the hangover, Keyshawn, but I think that would make a little bit more sense to me if this game was being played on Sunday or Monday on a short week where even if you can go back into the lab, you didn't get a chance to go out there and practice those kind of things on a short week. So I still wonder how much of that, at least early on, may still be a part of their DNA tonight versus Pittsburgh.
It's all mental. You're not like people think practice. It's just mental. I could sit in a room and we can go over it on the board. I could take it to the field and duplicate what we went over on the board. And then in terms of the short week, I see you one of those guys that been in this business for a very, very long time.
Oh, boy, here we go.
And you've heard coaches for many and players talk about, the short week. Man, that stuff don't really mean nothing.
And that has nothing to do with that. I've heard those conversations. I just always look at, and you know this more than anybody else, more than ever before, having that short week, even if you don't have that kind of practice time or no practice time, and you got to go on the board, you still got to go out there and play on a short week when your bodies may not have fully healed, even though it's early in the season.
Freddie,
that's why I look at that. I don't look at that from coach speak. That's not me.
These are games at home that the Browns have to get, though, right?
There's no doubt about that.
If you're the Browns, you're saying, hey, we let the Jets get away from us. Like at home, the Steelers now at home, like that's defense we need to come play.
Didn't it help me? Because we're at, what is this, Thursday?
Yes, it is.
Didn't the Steelers play Sunday too?
Yep.
The Steelers didn't have the kind of loss that the Browns had.
But I'm just saying, though.
It's different. I hear you, but here's the context, Ski. It's different the way the Steelers lost compared to the way the Browns lost. The Steelers lost a tough ball game. The Browns gave one away. That's different.
But why do you think there's a hangover with giving one away? Wouldn't you think that they're going to respond to that better?
They were 30-17, Jay, and you blew that game. You're the Cleveland Browns at home.
Well, Freddie, you don't have to yell at me, Freddie.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm getting my point across.
Damn.
Wait, Freddie.
See, that's where the generation thing comes in, Key. When somebody comes at the younger generation, you don't have to yell at me. Validate my feelings when I'm making a strong point and I'm raising my voice.
Now
that's
he's
what
talking
happens.
to you like he's your dad.
Now I'm 14 years old. I'm 14 years old now, Freddie.
17. You're 17.
Thank you for the three-year
Wait,
bump.
though, Freddie. All I'm saying is you said the bumps and the bruises and all of that. And I said, didn't Pittsburgh play on Sunday too? They're bruised and they're bumped and they got scrapes and all that too. Yeah, and they both got the same time off. They both play on a Thursday. One had to actually travel and get on a plane and do all of those sort of things, where another one rolled out of the bed and went and drove their Bentley to the stadium. So it's just, that's all I'm saying.
I understand that. I hear all of that. The context is, to me, it's a lot different the way the Steelers lost by 3 points to the Patriots than the Browns giving one away by giving up 2 touchdowns with $1:22 left in the game against a team they should have.
Can we put lunch on this, Freddie? Can we bet on this? Can we do lunch straight up? You want to do straight up on this game?
You want to do straight? I'll take the Steelers and you take the Browns?
Yeah, straight up. Okay, let's do it. That's lunch.
Now let me mess with your head a little bit more, Freddie.
No, brother. It doesn't take much, but have at it.
I didn't say you need the hair growth.
No, I'm not talking about that. See, I'm talking about the mental. See, exactly.
See, that's what he does.
That's what he does. That's what he does.
Real slick.
Always picking on the Ball brothers. I get it, Keyshawn. Have at it.
Again, when you look at it, one team traveled, bumps and bruises. Another team rolls out of the bed with no problem at all. Another team can't figure out how to beat a team that owns them in the New England Patriots. And so when you say that one team like the Cleveland Browns blew a lead to the New York Jets, which they did, but they also know why they blew the lead, what happened in those situations, so they can make those necessary changes with no problem at all. Chubb won't run into the end zone anymore. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, let's.
Well, I didn't blame him for that. The defense
No, I
got to stop
understand.
people.
I understand that, but that is contributed to the loss, where the Pittsburgh Steelers can't figure out how to beat Bill Belichick no matter who the damn quarterback is.
Well, the Browns
So,
can't figure out how to beat the Steelers. They're 11 and 1.
I understand that part, but I'm talking about